Hi, so today I'd like to talk about mission and purpose. A lot of people don't have mission statements because they're used to mission statements being just silly, foofy, pixie dust crap at a lot of companies that they've worked at that is just written on the wall and referred to in every meeting, and it's pretty much used to leverage people to work more. It's supposed to be this inspirational stuff that's just so cheesy and lame that by the time people start their own business, they say, I want nothing to do with having a mission statement. It's just cheesy, it's corny, it's crap. And I want to tell you why a mission and purpose actually makes sense and why having it written down is going to help guide your company decisions in times when you don't really know what it is that you have to do. So I made my mission and purpose based on the customer standpoint. So why do people pay me? What makes me unique? And I would actually ask a lot of people this, not just in those words, hi, I fixed your phone, what makes me unique? No, I'd ask why they decided to use me. I'd ask what they thought of the other places that they went to, why they came to me. And as time went on, I figured out what it is that made me unique, and I figured out what it is that allowed me to make money. What was it about my business that was unique, that allowed me to make money from the standpoint of my customers? And I actually made that into a written mission statement, which I'm going to read. So my mission and purpose was written with my customers in mind, but also keeping in mind what it is that makes me successful and what it is that allows me to make money, what is proven to allow me to make money. And my decisions are all made based off of this statement. Our mission is to provide top-tier repair services to our customers faster and more affordably than the competition, while maintaining a healthy profit. We do this by leveraging superior vendor relations, highly trained staff members, and wasting minimal amounts of time. We also aim to operate in a manner and only offer services that minimize unnecessary conflict with our customers, while providing customers with an unparalleled level of insight into how we do business in a frank manner. So this was written in taking into account all the things that have helped make me successful, all the things that have made it easy to market the business, all the things that have made it easy for me to deal with customers, and all the things that have made people choose myself and my staff over other businesses. And every time I have a decision that I need to make, it's easy to make because I can refer to this mission and purpose. I don't make it based on my gut or based on feelings or based on what other people tell me. I make it based on, does it make sense in the context of what my business's mission and purpose is? And when you do it that way, it really does make it easier to make a lot of critical decisions. So let's take some decisions that I made before I had a written mission and purpose statement, and let's explain why they didn't really go very well. Let's talk about cell phone unlocking about 2.5, 3 years ago. So 2.5, 3 years ago, I had this idea that we fix phones and everybody asks us if we unlock phones, maybe I should unlock them. And this is back when you could buy the unlock codes for like $2 to $5. Sometimes $6, and we were charging 20 or 25 for the service. Now, one of the things about the phone unlocking at that time is that in order to actually unlock the phone, after we were done with buying the code and putting the code in and doing everything, the user would have to actually restore their phone with iTunes, and we would explain this to them both before they purchased the service and then after the service when it was done to ensure that they did it. And it would also take 1 day. Nobody ever restored the phone. Everybody came back in screaming, bitching, crying that, we had stolen their money, we were a ripoff, we were, not the... And the thing that drove me nuts is that nobody actually did it. So let's look back at this mission statement. Our mission is to provide top-tier repair services to customers. Unlocking is not a repair service. While maintaining a healthy profit. Spending half an hour or 45 minutes arguing with somebody is not profitable for $20. We do this by leveraging vendor relations. I don't have a special source for unlocking, so I can do it cheaper than everybody else. Wasting minimal amounts of time. Arguing wastes time. And we aim to operate in a manner that minimizes unnecessary conflict with our customers. No. And, that made no sense. So while I thought, hey, people ask, do you unlock phones? I should unlock phones because people ask me and I fix phones. But when I look at my mission statement, it doesn't make sense because I can't unlock phones faster or more affordably than the competition. I can't leverage supplier relations to do that. Everything that makes my business special is not something that I can actually apply to cell phone unlocking. Again, highly trained staff, who cares? You're entering a little code into a phone. You don't need a highly trained staff to do that. So I stopped unlocking phones because it was a complete nightmare and it was wasting time that I could spend doing other things. Now let's talk about selling Lenovo laptops. So a lot of people ask me, what laptop do you use if you don't have an Apple? And I would say I use Lenovo's because they're very durable. I can drop it off a ladder and it still works. I can spill water in it and it comes out little holes in the bottom. You spill water on your laptop and it becomes a $2,000 brick. You try to watch YouTube with your laptop and your graphics chip dies. Again, I'm not going to say, again, you value usability and you value what you get out of a MacBook. I value being able to destroy my laptop and being able to not care when my cat knocks it off a bed. We value different things. But a lot of people would say, well, I like that too. Where can I get one? Do you sell it? And I would go, no. And they would look at me silly. You're telling me I should buy a Lenovo computer. You're a computer store and you don't sell the very thing you like. I guess, why don't I sell Lenovo? So I decided to buy them. Now again, let's look over back to this little mission statement. Our mission is to provide top-tier repair services to our customers. Selling a laptop is not a repair service. Faster and more affordably than the competition, while maintaining a healthy profit. Let me tell you something. When you're buying a laptop for $850 that B&H has for $859 without a coupon, that's not a healthy profit. I cannot provide the laptop faster or more affordably because I don't get it at a low enough price. There really is no fast that you take it off a shelf and you ring it up. It's not like myself and B&H or Best Buy or any of these companies are in competition for that. We do this by leveraging superior vendor relations, which, let me tell you, I don't have superior vendor relations than Best Buy when it comes to where you can buy a Lenovo laptop. Highly trained staff members. Where does having a highly trained staff member matter when somebody's just choosing a laptop and swiping their credit card? And when you look at this, all the things that make me great have absolutely nothing to do with selling a Lenovo laptop. We provide customers with an unparalleled level of insight into how we do business in a frank manner. People like transparency when they're choosing somebody to fix something, to work on their car, to take out their wisdom teeth. People don't really care about a level of transparency when they're buying a commodity item. So everything that makes my business amazing is not something that I can actually apply to the field of selling a Lenovo laptop. Therefore, that was a terrible idea. Had I had a written mission and purpose statement at that time, I would have not ever come up with that dumb idea and decided to try to implement it at my business. So some of the things that you should think about, again, and there were also employees. I had one really, really smart guy, but the smart guy costs a lot of money, and I'm wondering, should I just get other people who are kind of robots, or I just, I show them how to fix iPhone, they fix 15 iPhones a day, and they can't figure out when anything else is wrong with it what to do. When customer yells at them for, my home button doesn't sound the same as it does before. I actually had somebody do that today. They were clicking the button and saying it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't sound the same when I click it as I did before, which I was just, we all just stared and were like, you're really just purposely going out of your way to inconvenience us and just make our lives miserable, and I'm not even going to acknowledge that with a response. And smiled and just let them walk out. But my point is, when you can hire people who just don't know what to do and just get locked up, when that happens, who are cheap, or you can hire people who are going to cost more money and spend time trying to find the right person who's going to deal with that. I was thinking, which route do I want to go? And then we come back to here. We leverage highly trained staff members who waste minimal amounts of time. People who are not trained, people who are on a lower level are going to waste a lot of my time because I'm going to have to do their work. I'm going to have to explain things to them that they don't understand because they're not using their brain the same way I am to understand a lot of the things that I understand. They're not going to be able to make their own decisions. They're not going to be able to fix screw-ups when they occur. And that's going to really screw with my business. So I decided, I took a risk, and I said, you know what, I'm going to have 2 or 3 very highly trained staff members that cost good money and hope that the extra payroll I'm paying them compared to the people who don't know a lot is going to make up for itself in new income. And it did. It was a risk that I took, and it was a risk that paid off. Because at the time that I hired all these people, I could not actually afford to pay them, and if they did not return more than what I had, I would have had to fire them or tell them, yeah, I can't pay you for the week. You can take a laptop from the window, though, if you want, but luckily it never came to that at the time. So there are a lot of decisions that I've had to make, and I've made the wrong ones because I didn't have a written mission and purpose. Because, again, I was like a lot of you when I looked at the mission and purpose statements that a lot of companies that I worked for had, and I just said, this is lame crap. I don't want my business to be based on lame crap. I don't want to have something on the wall that's, our mission is to please every customer. Our mission is to be the best at making donuts. Because again, it's lame. You don't really make decisions based on that. So it's not just what do you intend to do. What do you intend to do? What is going to set you apart? What sets you apart and makes you special while doing it? And how does that benefit the customer? So what do you do? What sets you apart, and how does this benefit your customer, your target demographic? This is important. One of the things I talk about with my supply business, because a lot of people ask why I got rid of it. Let's look at some of the companies out there. People would say, how is iFixit in business? They're selling $50 iPhone 3 screens when those things cost $5. They have a strategy. They buy the best of whatever. They treat you nice. They give you free guides. They give you free everything, and they go above and beyond to make sure that that guide makes some sense, even when sometimes to me I don't personally like them, but a lot of the times, admittedly, their guides do actually make sense for a lot of the stuff that they put out there. Then you have something like Y'all Store, and people go, how are they in business? They treat everybody like shit. I can't believe they're in business. Because you're a cheapskate. And if you bought from Y'all Store, you probably bought from them because when you arrange by lowest price on eBay, they're always the cheapest, and you valued the cheapest over something that actually fucking works. And when you buy from Y'all Store or Laptops Outlet or Screen8 or any of that shit, it's always the cheapest. And they, again, their strategy is in line with their mission and purpose, which is in line with how they actually do business. They sell a shitty screen for a very, very shitty low price. They put that shitty screen into a shitty envelope instead of a box, and they send it to you using shitty USPS first-class mail. When the shitty screen comes and it's broken because it got put in a crappy envelope, then you talk to them, but you get to talk to somebody who doesn't speak English because to save $1 an hour on payroll, they get somebody who speaks no English, who is a member of the family or whatever, to do the customer service work for them. And instead of providing with real customer service, because real customer service would require that they take back that crappy part they sold you, what they do is they try their best to just let all the messages trickle out until 45 days, at which point you cannot file a case. They put off everything to ensure that you cannot file a case on them. And this is all part of the strategy. And it's all in line and it works, which is why they are a top-rated seller. They are not a top-rated seller because they're any good. They're a top-rated seller because their strategy is in line with their mission and purpose, and their mission and purpose is in line with how they do business. So how they do business makes sense to them, and it allows them to make money. That's why they went from having 3 or 4 eBay stores to having 10 or 20 of them. That's why they went from a dumpy house to a small warehouse to a big warehouse, and that's why they're advancing. My supply company did not have a mission and purpose. I wanted to have the cheapest prices. I wanted to have the best quality parts. I wanted for you to be able to call and not just get an answering service that said email us so that the person who doesn't speak English can reply to you. I wanted you to get me or somebody like me who could walk you through replacing a backlight fuse if you blew it and tell you how you could get it done with a regular soldering iron. I wanted you to be able to deal with somebody who could actually help you through all of these problems. I wanted you to have the best parts at the best prices and the best support, and all have it. It did not line up. And one of the things I'll say, and I don't mean this as an insult to a lot of part suppliers, but they'll say, we have the best prices. We got these, $19, $20 iPhone 4 screens, and we're the best quality because we really care and all that and that and that. You're either not making money, you're not profitable, or you are profitable but you're lying about something. I mean, you cannot. There is always compromise in business to be made, and you have to be bullshitting yourself about something if you're saying that all of these things are not in line. So I know that my compromises are made based on the fact that I don't provide certain basic level services because I would make no money off of them. We're not always the cheapest. We do often find ways to MacGyver and Frankenstein things instead of doing things the expensive way. So I'm not going to replace a motherboard when I can run a wire across it to make it work. I need that money to support the business that I've built up, and then I also need that money to offer an affordable service. You have to kind of pick and choose your compromises, and your mission and purpose is going to make it a lot easier to choose those compromises and to choose what you want to do for your business. So for example, instructional YouTube videos. This is going to be an interesting one for me because I am actually starting a new business very soon. So this is a repair shop that has a department that is really me by myself with no help fixing boards at component level. And the sales guy will tell people, the techs are working on it. In reality, it's me in a back room. Like when I went to CTIA, I actually got trolled. I got sent a message saying, I saw your Instagram. Is the reason that we haven't gotten a status update in 3 days because you're in Las Vegas on vacation? And it's like, yes, motherfucker, yes, I went on vacation. But the point is, I have an idea to make a company that does board repair only to a higher professional level, and I have an idea of I have an idea of having a company that does nothing but board repair. That's all we do. We only service stores or existing companies, not end users, and we do it to a high professional level of quality. The point of this is not going to be that you watch the videos and it's like, I identify with that guy. I get along with that guy. I know what he's doing. He's trying to, where I drop a chip onto a board right after a profile and you kind of get along with it. When I'm targeting the people who are watching my current videos and going, how the hell do you post on the internet without ESD protection? You dropped that solder on there at 5 degrees higher than what it was supposed to be. That's unprofessional. That's wrong. My new company is actually supposed to cater to those people. I want everything to be prim and proper. I want the appearance to be proper. I don't want there to be, an unused Cat 5 cable going in a loop because I just haven't cared to take that out of the video backdrop, even though it's not plugged into anything. And that's going to have a different mission and purpose. It's not going to be to show you in depth, a great level of insight into how I think and do business in a frank manner. It's going to be to show you our best side and show you that we do things to a higher level of professionalism so that we can get those clients that don't want to send stuff to a one-man staffed company that has, just the good metaphor for everything, a U-shaped Cat 5 in the video backdrop that's not plugged into anything. So when I think about, should I upload that video of the Xiaomao where I actually dropped the chip onto the board and that chip dropping onto the board actually shot an IC off of the board? Should I redo that video or should I upload it? For this company, I want to give you as much insight as possible into how we do business, meaning that in reality, I am actually going to reuse that board. I'm not going to throw it away just because a little thing happened to it. Yes, that's the level of insight I want to provide, and in a frank manner, meaning as honest as possible, as transparent as possible. With the new company, that's not going to be a part of it. And it's the same person making that decision. It's me making that decision based on my feelings and my thoughts, but my feelings and my thoughts are guided by my mission and purpose. So I'm going to have a different mission and purpose for that company than this. Therefore, the same person, the same me, is going to come to a different decision. If I drop a chip on a motherboard because I forget about the, how the suction mechanism, the manual vacuum works in the Xiaomao, no, I'm not uploading that video. Hell no. Because, again, I'm not looking to show you that I can do the job. I'm not looking to show you that in the business world, in the real tech world, then when we screw up, we simply have to fix it. I am aiming to show you that in this new company, which is a higher level of professionalism, that those things simply don't happen. That's the impression that I want to get across. Again, I've gotten amazing amounts of business from people who really like the frank and honest manner in which we do business, but I'm also trying to cater to the very, very large demographic outside of that of people who would like to see something more than a 200 square foot office with a single desk, with a Lenovo that I use for checking shorts and motherboards using the side of my face. Again, and I'm going to have to make a lot of different decisions as to how I do things with that company. For example, again here, I want to show you that what we do is we operate and we do work to a very high level of professionalism where everything looks as professional as possible to a traditional definition of professionalism. My definition of professional is different from the standard person. My definition of professional is that I can do the work that people need done repeatably and that I'm not afraid to give my opinions. The traditional definition of professionalism is that everything looks perfect and you just never make mistakes and, that kind of stuff. By the traditional definition of professional, if I accidentally drop my soldering iron in the middle of a video onto the floor and pick it up, that would be unacceptable because that's not professional. But this company is looking to cater to people with a traditional definition of professionalism. So a lot of the things that I'm going to do are going to be guided differently because of that. Again, right now, it's not really worth it for me to get soldering tweezers because I do everything just fine as is. But believe it or not, that is actually going to change the efficiency level that I work at. It is going to make me able to work a little faster, and it is actually going to come out looking this much better. Is it going to come out looking $200 worth it to me, $200 better? No, by the standards of my current company. But by the standards of my new company, it will. So I'm trying to give you a couple of examples here of how mission and purpose are going to guide your decisions. Again, your decisions should not be guided just based on gut feelings and thoughts and what other people tell you. You need to take a hard look at the mission and purpose of your business and think about whether what you are doing makes sense in the context of your mission and purpose. And I guarantee you're going to make better decisions that are more based in the reality of what makes you successful and based in the reality of what will make you successful going into the future. If you have a mission and purpose written out with these 3 basic guidelines. What do you do? What makes you unique at it? What makes you successful at it? What makes you better at it? And what allows you to make money at it? And thirdly, what from the customer standpoint, what do you provide them? So again, this mission and purpose needs to be in the mind of the customer, in the world of the customer. You need to get out of your world and what you think makes your business great and actually think about what they need, what you provide them. And if you do that, you'll find that it's very easy to make decisions that allow you to make gobs and gobs of money. And that the things that you think are just absolutely silly, dumb, ridiculous, asinine, like starting a YouTube channel off the cuff on the internet where you curse every now and then and show that you fuck up on a regular basis as you do the most complicated repairs there are in the field, that this will make you successful, you'll find that when it makes sense, it actually works and it makes money. So all I'm asking you to do is write down a mission and purpose and see if it makes it easier for you to make difficult decisions, and put it into practice next time you have to do something. Put it into practice next time you have to choose whether you hire an expensive employee or a dumbass. Put it into practice next time you have to decide whether or not you want to move to this store, this neighborhood or that neighborhood. Buy this rework equipment or that rework equipment. Buy parts from this vendor or that vendor. Offering this service or not offering this service. Look at it from the standpoint of what is the mission and purpose of my business, and I guarantee you are always going to be successful.